We were looking at collections of Islamic art from places like Iraq and Egypt, Syria, Iran, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Turkey, places like that. Certainly within Islam, we've heard a lot about the controversy of portraying images, especially, sure, the Prophet Muhammad, but also human beings and even animal forms. In Islam, many people interpret certain verses in the Quran to suggest that the act of creation only comes from God. And certainly in religious art in the Islamic world, any depiction of human form or animal forms would be forbidden. But we see in this gallery a lot of depictions of animals and human beings. Some of them are fanciful, some of them aren't real, but some of them were put on secular items, so that in many places in the Islamic world, depiction of these living beings was okay in the secular world. There certainly were some depictions of religious observances in this collection. There was one very beautiful image of Sufi dancing and celebrations of the Eid, the Islamic celebration. So it was okay to use human forms, at least in some parts of the world, to depict these things, but that would never have been seen in a mosque, according to our curator, Simon. We saw some beautiful art from what is now Mosul in Iraq, and it just showed that that was once the height of culture centuries ago, but today, of course, that city has been decimated by ISIS and is just surrounded by so much fighting. People have had to flee that area. It was also interesting to see the influence and the interaction from the different parts of the ancient world, so that you saw Christian influences in some of the bowls and the basins actually had Christian imagery along with Islamic writing, sort of a combination of the two motifs. Simon, our guide, talked about this influence of the different religions and cultures on one another, and he really emphasized the fact that there were periods in history, and it's shown in the art, where different faiths lived together, interacted together, and got along together, and that was certainly reflected in their art.